Brother Minister Ali. And today we're going to build on Masdar Allahi, the source of the God. A lot of people are confused as to the origin of Messenger Elijah Muhammad's teachings. And basically, in order to properly understand the Masdar Allahi, or the source of this God wisdom, the supreme wisdom, you have to go look at and reflect upon the past. Now, we have student followers of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad today, FOI, MGT, various ministers, various internationally known figures such as Malcolm X, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, Salis Muhammad, Dr. Khalid, Abdul Muhammad, Dr. Naeem Akbar, Imam Isa, Imam Warfdeen Muhammad, Father Allah, and on and on and on and on. You know what I mean? However, these various branches of Allah's wisdom came from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the first, last, and only messenger of Allah in person. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that he got it from the Supreme Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom all praise are due forever. Master Farad Muhammad taught us that he got it from Albanzo Shabazz, his dad. He got it from his Abu, his father, who was the 24th scientist, and 23 of his uncles, meaning the 24 scientists. So is the 24 scientists the source? Because they made Master Farad Muhammad. They sent Master Farad Muhammad. Master Farad Muhammad was a figment of their imagination that they intentionally and consciously sent to resurrect us. However, Master Farad Muhammad learned everything from his father and his uncles, and he studied in the secret vaults of Mecca, and he prepared himself for 42 years to teach us, as this is what makes him master even over his masters, teacher even over his own teachers. Now, I mean, however, the 24 scientists, according to Master Farad Muhammad and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, is not the root either. Now, I mean, they're not the Masdar Allahi. They're not the source of the God wisdom. Now, I mean, 66 trillion years, we had 24 scientists. But before 66 trillion years ago, there was no such thing as 24 scientists. There was no such thing as a 25,000 year history. The message teaches us beyond that, we used to write our history for 35,000 years because we had 35,000 square miles. But in the origin of time, we was broken up and divided into 13 different tribes called Shabazz, or godly, not God, but God-like, or godly, or like God, you know what I mean? But we was not in our pure form then, you know what I mean? But in the beginning of time, 76 trillion years ago, there was only black men on earth. At that time, no brown, no yellow, no red, no women, just the original man, the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. Now, that is that physical source, that Masdari Allahi, that Masdar Allahi on earth, or the source of the God on earth. From him came countless cultures. I mean, the ancient gods of Egypt, they didn't start it. They'd be like, before we was teaching this, we got it from the ancient gods of Nubia. The ancient gods of Nubia, like, before this was a desert, this was full of life down here. Now, I mean, the fact that you see it as a sand today, now, I mean, lets you know that the Sudan, now, I mean, that's not the origin, that's not the root, it's something older than that. Now, I mean, so you can't trace our origin. It always goes back to the people. And this is why Allah's Foundation lesson number 2 teaches us that Allah is all of us. Now, I mean, you know, so the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, in his last book, Al Sayyid's Arrive, he revealed to us that Allah is all of us. Now, I mean, but we have a supreme one that we can throw this name holy upon. That's Master Farad Muhammad, to give us a mathematical theology. We have to think according to mathematics. If you try to subtract Master Farad Muhammad from the equation, you have to remove all of the disciples. You have to remove the Elijah Muhammad. You have to remove Malcolm X, Almas Farrakhan, Salas, Jeremiah, Avery, father-in-law. All of them would have to disappear, because none of them would have been able to mathematically be who they were if all the other elements wasn't in place. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Things happen so that things may occur. It's all Islam. It's all mathematics, cause and effect, actions and reactions. You know what I mean? But if you was to take and say to that original man, you know what I mean, okay, you're the first person on earth. It's 76 trillion years ago. Are you the source? He'd be like, I'm the source in this form. I'm the source at this time. I'm the Masdar Allahi at this moment. But before I was in this physical form, I was alive in the oceans. Before I was in the oceans, I was alive in the atoms, in the blackness of space. Before I was made of hydrogen and helium or atoms, I was atomic energy. I was pure energy. I was that dark matter, that dark essence. I was in mental form. I was that mind. You know what I mean? You'd be like, well, where did this mind start at? We say, listen, bro, you be wasting your time. Allah has no beginning nor ending. He's the Alpha and the Omega. He's the beginning and ending of all things. Where you find this beginning, you find this ending. Where you find this ending, you find this beginning, because God has no birth record. The black man is God, period. See yourself. The struggle continues. Assalamu alaikum.